Hey, good morning. This is T.Ellis, and I'm here at HMAAC, Houston Museum of African American Culture, founded in 2012 by Mr. John Guest, the Executive Director of this wonderful cultural institution. This morning we have a visitation of 41 students and 9 parents from Wichita, Kansas. They're coming to get a little cultural nutrition this morning. Houston Museum of African American Culture was established in 2012. Its sole purpose, mission, and vision is to celebrate African American culture. You can see the community here. It's a thriving community that is transitioning. Some people call it gentrification. So it's so critically important that we have this institution that is dedicated to providing a facility institution that will celebrate African American culture.
This is the only, and there's a lesson that I always like people to understand, especially people of color. This is the only African American museum in the country that does not get its building and annual operating funds given to it as a public good. The only one in the country. And yet for 6 years, here we stand, and you're about to go into a nationally renowned museum. And the reason for that is because we decided to connect directly to you. But the lesson here is that when things get tough, don't let that stop you. So what do we do in a time and a country where there's income inequality? We go and we sell. We get really good at what we do. And there's no way that, and to be good at when we say we sell, that means that we develop programs for people to want to come here. In 6 years, we've become the most visited African American cultural asset in this city. People who've been around for 20 years, for 30 years before, we've outdistanced everybody. Our Facebook friends are up to 10,000 in 6 years. We've outdistanced all of the smaller, mid-sized museums that have been here. We have been celebrated at the American Alliance of Museums, the biggest museum association in the country. But let me, and at Museum Next in Portland, but let me just don't bury my lead. This museum is dedicated to you. Everything that we're doing here is for next. You're next. When you walk into this museum, unlike other museums, you're going to see all of the people who work here are younger. Well, they're younger than me, but they are younger. And the point is that in my generation, I came up in the civil rights movement, got my head smashed, got all of the things. I was the youth coordinator, I was in the Baltimore rebellions, etc. But after all of that, my generation actually has nothing left to say except the civil rights movement. And yet, Black and brown people are still being victimized consistently. So something's got to change. So the way that changes, hopefully, is that we empower you. That we let you go at it and just put our backs into supporting, hey, you go at it. We did our best. We've done to a certain point. I'll tell you one other thing about this museum. It is African American. This time you walk in here, you'll see it. But on any given day, it's a museum. We show everybody, but we definitely show Black and Latino. And we show Black and Latino for a good reason as well. Because this is the only, if you think that we're in a hard place with no support, there's no Latino museum. And so as a result, every story about us has to be told by other people. And that's never a really true narrative. It's never really, we're away from that. So before we go in, let me tell you, we've got one last thing, and then you're gonna get us here. But we are in the community. We have murals, huge murals up in the community, message murals. So if they get to drive you 5-10 minutes, just 10 minutes from here to Johnson Funeral Home, the back of Johnson Funeral Home, you'll see one of those murals. It's the closest one. But we have murals in high schools that say, when kids walk into a cafeteria, they see a sign that says, the world needs what you have to give. And that's the message. If you go out and you look on the funeral home, the closest mural we have is These Lives Matter. If you go further out into the hood, you will see something that says, be at your best, on a professional building. And so it's very important. This summer we're going to put up a mock classroom in a place. We're going to take exhibitions out into the community and community spaces. So we're not just here. But what we have in here right now is going to blow you away. There's some really good stuff. And so we can go in and I'll let you talk to Dominic Clay. But let me just say one thing. Last word is reinforcing T.Ellis, you are the future. The times that we're at right now, let me say that with the current administration here, we're taking a huge step back. If you go and you look at it, we're taking a huge step back. And that's not going to be easily turned around. It's not going to be like, oh, this guy's gone and things are okay. It's not. The forces that have been unleashed out there in this country, the negative forces, by a person who did not represent the majority of the people here, it's going to be tough. And that's the environment that each of you are going to have to deal with. So we are here to give you support. That's it. Let's go.
Outstanding, Mr. Lane.
Thank you, brother.
Outstanding.
This is my job. This is
Sure
my
is.
assignment in life.
And also the American Institute of African American Library. Okay? We've been in this building since 2009, and I've been here since 2013. We have 3 exhibitions currently. For our first exhibition, we have The Beauty of the Black Woman by Aisha Lee. It's a series of 13 works, all paintings on wood panel. All are 24 by 24 inches. With this exhibition, she is basically exploring the diversity of what it means to be a black woman. Okay? Inside of our main space here, we have over there someplace a collective of 8 artists who actually previously shown in this space. So I got 8 of those artists from the last 5 years together for them to show together. It's a very mixed media heavy exhibition, and all of them are exploring what it means to be an African American artist in Texas.
The Weekdays is there to bind together different medias that I'm using to create multiple layers.
Still on the auctioning block, this piece is talking about it is a response to what happened to Colin Kaepernick, which he came and saw this show, which was awesome. But this is a response of college combines in relation to auctioning blocks. Okay? And this is talking about these and so many things within these layers that he is trying to discuss here. If you guys look at the stars and stripes, if you look at the stars, there's the red stripes right here, you'll see they're made out of chains. If you look into the white, you'll see these are nooses.